I'm John. I've made a series breaking down the Knicks roster position by position. We'll get into each of these players, talk about their background, how they fit on the team, and what their individual goals will be like for this season. Anyways, let's get into the video. Hey, welcome to the Knicks small forward breakdown. We're going to be starting off today with Reddish. So last season, he only got to play 15 games, got cut short a bit because of a shoulder injury. In those games, though, he averaged 14 minutes, 6 points, passable field goal percentage there, 42, but shot pretty poor from the three. Now, I think a lot of that has to do with that shoulder injury. That'll definitely mess up your shooting stroke. It's important to keep in mind that although he shot 26% with the Knicks, he did shoot 38% with the Hawks that same year. So I really think that has a lot to do with the injury. A couple other notable stats are the 0.8 steals he got in just those 14 minutes a game. That's not bad at all. And the free throw percentage, he's got a 91 free throw percentage. Now, last season with the Knicks, he only got to the line of only 2.1 free throw attempts per game. Now, that's not a lot, but if you actually average that out on a per 36 basis over his career, that's actually the most he's ever done. So I think they're encouraging him to do that more, and I think he should continue that as well. I mean, if you have a 91% free throw stroke, you definitely want to use that. And that's another reason that, I think the three-point shooting is legit too. I could definitely see him getting back up to high 30s, even 40%, because he's got that awesome stroke, hitting 91% from the free throw line. So last season, he was traded mid-year for a first-round pick, and he sort of struggled to fit in New York. The minutes were cut in half compared to when he was in Atlanta, and that's on a worse team too, so that's not something you really want to see. And like I mentioned before, that three-point percentage was quite a bit down. Might be the shoulder injury. I mean, maybe it's just he's not getting the shots he's used to. And yeah, sadly, shoulder injury ended his season. And he got injured the prior year as well, only doing 26 games in his sophomore season. So he's been pretty injury riddled, which is too bad for the guy. But he's only 22. He's 6'8", a two-way wing player, and he's still yet to reach his potential. It's been 3 seasons now, and I think he really just needs to find a good environment. The fit so far doesn't seem great, but that might just be the case of Tom Thibodeau really wants to win games, and when you first start on the team as a young guy, maybe he's not going to give you a whole bunch of opportunities to mess up. And this year, it could go a lot better. So he's quick, he can dribble, he can't seem to play make though. The assist to turnover ratio is terrible, but he does have a decent handle and he's quick with the ball. Things he needs to get better at next season. Hitting those threes, he can't be shooting 25%. He needs to get that back up closer to 40, like I know he can, as long as he's rehabbed okay from that injury and it's fully healed. Other things too, get to the rim. That free throw percentage is disgusting. So get there a little bit more often. I can tell they were encouraging him last year, so let's see him do that some more this year. And just play your butt off on defense. Tom Thibodeau really respects that. He's got the frame to make it happen. He can stay in front of many different positions, like I'd say point guard. As long as they're not too fast, he can stay with them. Shooting guard, small forward, and then some power forwards, as long as they're not too strong. He can stick with those guys too. And I mean, this guy's on the last year of his rookie contract. He's going to make $6 million this year. It's really time for him to reach his potential because he's either going to get paid next season or he's not. And as the backup small forward shooting guard for this team, that's probably where he starts out. You're going to have limited minutes and opportunity. So the goals for this season's really got to be healthy. Maybe try and get in that shooting guard spot. It's up for grabs. I mean, we were talking about Grimes in the last video. He's really vying for it. So he'll be in competition with Grimes. I don't think Quickly will make the starting lineup just because him and Brunson together, they're both small guards. It's kind of tough, but I think Reddish, Grimes, and Fournier, that'll be the race for shooting guard. So the next player up here for the small forward, Barrett. Last season he played 70 games, averaged 34.5 minutes, 20 points, 41% from the field, that's all right. 34% from three, pretty solid. 5.8 rebounds, 5.8 free throw attempts a game. I like to see him being aggressive, getting to the line. That's great. And this guy's improved year over year. Every year he's been in the league, and he takes more responsibility on each year too. This last year, the efficiency suffered a little bit, and that's the Knicks' biggest gripe with this guy is just, he's inconsistent quite often. But also he started taking more of a challenge on the defensive end. There's a lot of really good starting wings in the league, and when you pick those guys up every single night, you're going to learn a lot of stuff through fire, I tell you that much. And RJ, he's just 22, 6'7", and he's really the franchise player of this team. They really love RJ in New York. I mean, he's no Ja, he's no Zion, but he's gotten better every year, taking on more responsibility, putting up more production. So looking at it next year, I want to see him to continue to increase his role. And, the efficiency should be a little bit easier for him with Brunson joining the team, because he'll just be another guy that defenses have to worry about. So this year for him is really about finding that balance between efficiency and taking more shots. So we'll see how that works out for him. And I really do think that All-Star is in reach for this guy. I mean, the New York media, for one thing, they love him there in New York. And it's the biggest city in the States, huge media market. He is in the last year of his rookie deal, making 10 mil, and the max extension is on the table. That's worth 185 million. I don't think he's worth that money today, but he could get the bag like Randall. Like I was saying, RJ's quite inconsistent. And on one hand, that means he could shoot terribly one night, but on the other hand, that means he could go crazy. So, maybe has an awesome year like Randall did in his contract year and got that bag. He could get the bag too. I mean, if it doesn't go so well, this could become the DeAndre Ayton situation 2.0. Dolan might be cheap, and, maybe they only keep him after he goes to restricted free agency. So this season could go a lot of ways for RJ. I hope for his sake that he shoots it well, he plays efficiently, and he ends up getting paid. As a fellow Canadian, you know how it is. Okay, our last small forward here, Evan Fournier. He played in 80 games last year and started every single one of them. That's what I don't hear people talking about when they talk about Quentin Grimes is starting. Oh, is someone else starting at shooting guard? It's like, you're not going to bring up Evan Fournier? That was his job last year, every single game, except for 2 when he didn't play. In those games, he played 29 and a half minutes. That's a heck ton of minutes there. 14.1 points, 42% from the field, 39% from 3. What a sharpshooter. 1 steal. So last year, he really had that huge role at shooting guard. That was his baby. And he shot it well from 3. I mean, he's not anything on defense. Like, people talk about, oh, he's a traffic cone. Not a bad comparison, especially in that orange uniform. And I mean, it is pretty clear that his contract is terrible. He's not worth that close to $20 million he's getting, but he's still a great player. He's 29 years old, 6'7", sharpshooter. He's kind of like a Walmart JJ Redick, you know what I mean? But look, he's a good vet for the team. When he was with Orlando, the team was always kind of young and old. They were never like a truly vet team, never like super young. They always had like Vucevic, Gordon, until all those guys got traded back a couple seasons ago. And he's played on 4 teams in 10 seasons. So he's been all over the league. He's seen a whole ton of different things. And he really knows how to, play his role. And you can preach that to a lot of players. Like, only so many guys are going to be all-stars in this league. You know what I mean? So last year the team really didn't perform, and you know what? He definitely can lose that shooting guard spot just because the team needs a shakeup. They decide, we need to try something new. And I could see Grimes taking that shooting guard spot. I just don't see Grimes taking it right at the start of the year. So 2 more years on this guy's contract, then the team option in year 3. They are not going to pick up that team option in year 3. He's making 18.5 mil, and you really can't bench 18.5 mil. Look at Russell Westbrook. He needs a chance to pop off for his market value. It's just as simple as that. But really, he's going to be fighting for that starting spot all year with guys like Cam Reddish, guys like Quentin Grimes, even maybe Emmanuel Quickly if they're like, hey, we need some more playmaking in this backcourt. But I think for the start of the year, it's going to be his to lose. All in all, for these small forwards, expect some motivated play this year. RJ Barrett, he's in that contract year. He can get a huge bag, set himself, set his grandkids up, their grandkids up for life. They're not going to have to do anything they don't feel like doing and, really enjoy themselves. Maybe they can become NBA players too, no problem. Reddish also in that contract year. He's not looking to get the same amount of money as RJ Barrett, but he's got a lot of potential, and it's really time for him to realize that potential, stay healthy for a full season. It's really a make or break year for this guy's career. Fournier, this guy's on that shooting guard hot seat. Like I was saying, I do think he's going to start the year at shooting guard. I don't think he'll finish at shooting guard, but it's his to lose, and he's going to be fighting tooth and nail with guys like Cam Reddish, with guys like Quentin Grimes, maybe even Emmanuel Quickly, if the Knicks decide they need a little bit more playmaking in that backcourt. So it's going to be quite fun to watch these guys at the small forward position. Anyways, hope you enjoyed. Next episode's going to be on the power forwards. We got Ferran Hunt, the new draft pick, Julius Randle, and Obi Toppin, the dunk contest champ. Anyways, I'll see you there. Have a great day. Peace.